Guys, remember how Sharon married Victor when she went all cuckoo like she's right now? Well, right now, she's in a tough spot. Of course, Daniel's about to get caught for the crimes she committed, but sooner or later, they're going to catch her. But there's still one person who might be able to help her. Let's be honest here, as much as we all hate Victor, it is true that he is a powerful man. That means if he wants to, he'll probably be able to protect Sharon. So what if Cameron's next move is to force Sharon into seducing, and if not kidnapping and blackmailing Victor into helping her out of this mess? It'll probably make matters worse for her, but the drama will be great for us to watch Sharon slip. This lady is in a bit of a pickle. Not only is Daniel facing the heat for those, misdeeds he's gotten himself into, but Sharon is also teetering on the edge of a cliff herself. The clock is ticking, and it's only a matter of time before the truth comes crashing down on her. But don't lose hope just yet, because there's still one player left in the game who might be able to throw her a lifeline. Drumroll, please enter Victor. Now, we all have our feelings about Victor, some love him, others can't stand him. But you can't deny he's got power and influence that could help Sharon out of her jam. Imagine this, what if Cameron forces Sharon into a game of seduction, maybe even a little kidnapping action? If that doesn't sound like a recipe for chaos, I don't know what does. And let's face it, the idea of Sharon and Victor rekindling something, however shady, is enough to keep us all on the edge of our seats. Will Victor play the hero, or will he expose her for the mess she's in? And let's not forget about the repercussions of this little scheme. If Sharon thinks this plan can save her, she might be in for a rude awakening. Victor is no fool, he knows how to play the game. If she gets caught up in a web of seduction and blackmail, she could end up more entangled than she ever imagined. So what do you think, guys? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nikki questions Jack, Phyllis, and Christine's strategy. On October 28th, the tension ramps up at the Abbott mansion when Nikki shows up to hear Jack's side of his messy split with Diane. While Diane's been throwing blame at Jack, Nikki knows there's more to the story. She's also deeply concerned about Jack's mental state, especially with all the stress piling up. His past struggles with sobriety have her worried he might fall back into old patterns. However, there's a growing buzz that Jack and Diane might be playing everyone, faking their breakup to pull off a bigger plan, especially against Victor and Kyle. Meanwhile, Phyllis is ready to explode as the GCPD zeroes in on her son, Daniel. Chance is ready to make an arrest, but Phyllis refuses to stand by and let it happen. Her anger could land her in trouble, though. That's when Christine steps in, urging Phyllis to let her take control. As Daniel's attorney, Christine is focused on getting him out on bail and eventually clearing his name. Partnership. On Monday, Nikki pays Jack a visit at the Abbott mansion. She's curious to hear his side of the story about his crumbling marriage to Diane, who has been blaming him for their troubles. But Nikki's not one to take things at face value, especially when it comes to something as complicated as Jack and Diane's relationship. She's also worried about Jack's well-being, particularly his sobriety. With everything going on, Nikki fears that Jack could fall back into old habits if things keep spiraling out of control. But here's the kicker, there are whispers that Jack and Diane might not be on the outs as much as they want people to believe. Could their breakup be an elaborate ruse to deceive everyone, especially Victor and Kyle? Meanwhile, Phyllis is on the verge of losing it as the GCPD closes in on her son, Daniel. Chance is ready to make an arrest, and Phyllis isn't having any of it. She's prepared to go to battle to protect Daniel, but her fiery temper could land her in even more trouble. Luckily, Christine Blair steps in before Phyllis makes things worse. As Daniel's attorney, Christine knows she has to handle things carefully. Her main focus is getting Daniel bailed out of jail and eventually clearing his name, but Phyllis is going to have a hard time staying out. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Daniel's jailbreak, Phyllis's desperate measure. We all know that Phyllis has always been a cunning woman. She has a lot of ideas in her head, but she's not been using any for quite a while now. But desperate times call for desperate measures, right? So what if after Daniel is arrested, Phyllis does something unthinkable? We all know how strongly Phyllis feels about her son being innocent, and for once she is right. After getting locked up for a couple of days, Phyllis might fear Daniel will be given the life sentence, so what if she decides to do a jailbreak and help Daniel escape? It'll be too late to turn back if she commences it, so Daniel may have no choice but to follow her. Or he might resist, so she hits him in the head and pays some goons to help her take Daniel away. Phyllis's move. Daniel is behind bars, and Phyllis is determined to prove his innocence. After a few days locked up, the reality hits her. If she doesn't act quickly, Daniel could be facing a life sentence. We all know how fiercely protective Phyllis is when it comes to her family, and this time, she's ready to do the unthinkable. What if she orchestrates a jailbreak? Imagine her storming the prison, ready to spring Daniel from his cell. But what if Daniel isn't on board? If he resists her plans, it could get dramatic. Picture this: Phyllis, in a fit of desperation, gives him a little whack on the head. Crazy, right? To pull this off, she might even hire some muscle goons who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. Can you see it? Phyllis flashing cash, making deals to ensure Daniel's escape. She's not just going to sit back while her son's future hangs in the balance. But will Daniel go along with her plan, or will he fight back against her wild schemes? The stakes are high, and the tension is palpable. As Phyllis takes charge, viewers are left on the edge of their seats, wondering if this daring escape will succeed or lead to disaster. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to check some of our other videos. And we hope to see you again in the next video.